now that we have like multiple cruises behind us, would you live out my dreams and retire on a cruise ship if it was this one?
That's hard to. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you've definitely got me cruising, and like enjoying it. So I think that's a feat that you should.
Right. Let's see if we
pat
can
yourself on the back.
See if we can wrap this up. We can get an answer by the end of this. Ready?
Yeah.
Welcome to Princess and Scoundrel, where we take you along our scrappily ever after, from Fantasyland to Tatooine to the star of the seas in between. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Steven.
And let's address the elephant on your screen. We are both wearing K-pop Demon Hunter shirts because we just went to the sing-along. It was amazing.
Yeah,
it was
fun.
So good. It was so good. You've got your Huntrix shirt on. I've got my Saja Boys shirt on.
You got to support the girls.
I love my girls. But yeah, that was great. But literally yesterday, at the time of this recording, we just got off of our, I think they called it a 3-night showcase of Star of the Seas. It's typically a 7-night sailing. It's Royal Caribbean's newest and largest cruise ship. But
it's not larger than Icon. It's like that same Icon class. So it's one of the 3 largest.
No, the 2. There's only 2. There's Icon and Star. But technically, it is the largest cruise ship, because it's the same as the other one. They're tied for first, right?
Yeah.
I mean, however you want to.
It's the largest, I guess. We'll give you that. We give you that.
It's definitely the newest.
Yes.
It hasn't officially done its. I don't know if it's maiden or voyage. I don't know what the difference between the two. Inaugural. Oh yeah, I said maiden or voyage. Maiden or inaugural voyage, but we were on like a preview sailing, so we only did 3 nights.
We did have the naming ceremony on ours.
We did. So
the godmother.
It was a naming ceremony. Yeah. And we got like a special certificate with our names on it and stuff, which was cute. But it officially set sail, I think, this week coming up for, we were able to pay. It was one of those things where it was like, okay, the first voyage is this date.
They're going to get more people on there. So
then they're like, well, we're ready 4 days early. So if you want to book a preview cruise, you can do that. Oh, we're ready 3 days earlier than that. So if you want to book that preview cruise, which we did. And then again, they were like, oh, we're actually ready 4 days earlier than that. And so there was another 4-day preview.
Yeah, they're going to get you.
They're going to get you. But we did a 3-night. And here's my rub with the 3-night cruise is that's all we've ever done as a family. You and I did a 4-night on Virgin. And then I actually sailed on the inaugural maiden, whatever it is, for Icon of the Seas, which is the sister ship to this one. So nearly identical, like very much identical. There's very small changes between the two. And I did a 7-night on that one. So I've experienced it, but I haven't experienced it with like you and the kids, which I still really want to do.
But I think that's the thing that's nice about this one is they're naming it, or they're kind of calling it the world's best
family vacation.
Yeah, so.
And I like that they do that. They give these little taglines to their ships now. So Utopia, which was the newest ship prior to this one, which we'd been on 3 times, was the world's biggest weekend. And it's very much
weekend vibes,
big party vibes. And this one did feel different. So I've already been on the ship. So for me, it wasn't as grand of a first impression because I knew what I was walking into, but you hadn't. So what was it like for you to walk into this new ship?
So my comparison is like my first comparison is to Utopia because it's a royal. So I was like, okay, let me kind of compare the closest one to it. And going onto that ship, I'm very anxious because it's like getting onto like going to the airport, TSA, like you've got to go through, metal detectors and give your IDs and your passports and like it's just the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then you get on the ship and Utopia's promenade is it feels very compact. It's real tight. It opens up and you're looking at a bar right in front of you. You're right next to the Sorrentos. There's like kiosks. It looks like a mall. The Royal Promenade, it looks like a little mall section.
It looks like you're thrown into the middle of, like, when you take those side entrances into the mall and you're just like, bam, you're in the middle
Yeah, you're
of
right
it.
in the middle.
Yeah, that's what it feels like.
So and there's just a high concentration of people, because also too, I feel like there's, again, taking it's just like there's a lot of people, and so it just kind of seems like a lot, like
It's
real
like a
packed.
bottleneck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And getting onto Star, it felt like it opened up, and then you have the Pearl, which is like this beautiful like
Art
thing.
installation.
I mean, it's super cool because it has like these panels that are kind of like alive, and so it just kind of like breathing constantly.
Right.
But like, here's this middle centerpiece that you look at and you're amazed by it, but it doesn't feel tight. And you're able, like, Sorrento's is off on the corner, so people that are eating there, they're already like away from the middle, and people that, everybody's separating. There's not this high concentration, so it's like way less stressful. So the just getting on the ship, I felt better.
That's good. I think now that I'm trying to process it in my head, because the Royal Promenade on Star feels so grand and spacious and big, and you can actually see out the windows on either side of the Royal Promenade, like in the middle. You can even go sit outside on the balconies of the Royal Promenade. Like, you can go sit behind the Pearl. There was a lot of seating out there. There's the running track on that floor, and then same on the other side where you enter, there was seating out there.
Maybe that's why it just feels like more airy, because there's sunlight coming through.
I think there's sunlight coming through, but also I think on Utopia they put cabins on the outsides of the Royal Promenade. Like, you can have a room on that same floor, and with this one you can't. So they just like widened everything, and so it just feels great. It really does feel.
And then
grand.
again, like the ships, I think we looked it up. It was like 12 feet difference,
in length.
And
it was like 5 feet in width or something.
So it's like it's not a
nominal.
huge difference, but it feels so much bigger in that promenade.
Yeah, for me, because we have done Utopia 3 times in a row now since I've been on Icon, it feels luxurious. Just the grandeur of all of it, having the windows, having so many places to go sit outside. It just, I don't know how to describe it, but everything just felt more spacious, to where you can see the ocean actually a lot more than any of the other ships we've been on, because we've been on a couple Disney cruises, we've been on Virgin, we've been on Utopia, but it feels, I don't know, you feel transported. You don't really feel like you're on a cruise ship. You're just like on a resort that's moving, and sometimes does this a lot. Because we were passing a hurricane that first day, and you could feel that ship moving. I was very grateful we had a cabin on one of the lower floors, because you don't feel it quite as much up there. All right, so that's initial impressions, but let's dive deeper into the things, because we experienced it as a family of 4. You, me, our 10-year-old, and our 6-year-old. And as the world's best family vacation, we really wanted to see, is it really the world's best family vacation? Like I said, it's a 7-night cruise, and there's so much to do on this ship. They have 8 neighborhoods, if you will, and I actually think that's very aptly named. I don't think they're doing that for like the whole family aspect of it, but there's really very separate sections that you can go visit for different reasons. I'm gonna read them because I don't want to mess it up. But there is the AquaDome, which is where they have their water show. But then there's also seating and stuff that you can do up there. And there's food. I don't know how to describe the vibes of the AquaDome.
Well, I think that's a good way. Okay, so like you talking about the neighborhoods, and you think of it that way. Like, if you're trying to describe, here's this neighborhood, here's the AquaDome. It's
the big dome on the front of the ship.
Yeah, but it has like where the aqua show is. There's a seating area up there where there's the bird's nests, and there are a couple of very limited menu, but there's like restaurants up there.
It's also where Hooked
like
is,
grab and go
and
type of thing.
Yeah, some of their specialty dining is up there as well. But then there is Central Park, which they have Central Park on Utopia. That's lots of plants and trees, and you really feel like you're in a park, and there's shops on the side, and there's more specialty dining and bars and things like that. There is Chill Island, which is, I think that was the pools, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was more like the pools and the whirlpools, and it's not as loud on that side. It's definitely more chill vibes. And then there's Thrill Island, which is their water park. They called it the Category 6 water park because there's 6 slides. Technically, one of the slides was down. the drop
And I mean,
slide
there
was
was like,
closed.
because there was a bunch of stuff happening on the sister ship on the Icon. It was the one of the slides had malfunctioned and broke through. You've probably seen it on, which is wild. But I guess they kind of like took the time and said, "Hey, we're not going to open it up."
Yeah, we're gonna rethink this one because you were gonna go on. I've been on that slide on Icon, like the slide.
I would have done it. Not, I don't know about now, like after the seeing it broken.
Yeah.
But before I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll do it," and then I was like, "Oh, maybe let me think about it."
Maybe not. And then 2 of the slides are technically it's like a racing slide, so
It's the same but different.
they're the same. But that one was really fun. The Royal Promenade, which we just talked about, which is like the main atrium thoroughfare of the ship. There's the Hideaway, which is the adults only section, like pool area. Surfside, which is meant specifically for families, and we'll get into that because that's really, really cool. And then the Sweet Neighborhood, which we are too poor to have experienced.
That's for like the what diamond clubs and
Oh yeah, Pinnacle Club members and the people that book suites. So they do, if you are booking a suite, there are special sections of the ship that you can go do on your own, away from all of us plebs with our kids and our
loud noises
and our
stuff.
Sorrento's pizza. Okay, so let's go through which areas were your favorite of the ship.
Well, the thing that I liked about like all these neighborhoods is like we're kind of saying like here's all these different 8 neighborhoods, but they kind of like blend together, because for me it kind of they compartmentalize them into like the loud area in the back of the ship and then the quiet area in the front of the ship.
Yeah.
So it's like here's all the quiet things you could do, like AquaDome. You could just go over there and chill, and it wasn't like you had to be in like swimming trunks or it's not warm up there. It's like air conditioned, so you could be wearing nicer clothes for the evening,
right,
just kind of waiting. Whereas like on Utopia, that is the adult area, and there's pools over there, so you have that kind of a chlorine smell, and there's people still being rowdy because they're in the pool drinking and stuff, and it just felt different. I actually had a quiet area. The Central Park is actually quiet because it's not under the pool and you're hearing all the music and stuff. You could actually take like a quiet stroll through the park. So I think that's the one thing I liked, was like there's like a true dedicated quiet area, like you could just chill, and then all the fun loud crazy stuff is in the back and you could just go over there. Mm-hmm. One of the things I wasn't too keen on was there's like the Surfside, which is just the kids stuff, which is awesome because it's like here we have all the kids, we could go here, you have the arcade, you have food, like you have everything you need there,
literally everything.
There's a mommy and me bar up there, so it's like you have everything there.
It's like they designed it in a way that you could go to that portion of the ship, that neighborhood, and stay there all day and not have to leave, because they have the quick service. Like they don't have breakfast there, I don't think, but they have like lunch and dinner, like, and it's for kids, so it's like pizza toasties and chicken nuggets and cheeseburgers and French fries and fruit sticks, and just they have sprinkles,
sprinkles right there. So.
They have your Coke freestyle machines, and then they have a little splash pad slide area for the kids, and then they have a pool for the kids, and then there's like for little babies they have a tiny little splash area for babies, and then tons of seating. There's that's where the carousel is. They do face painting, they have people out there playing games with them, they have a playground, like truly. So the arcade, there's so much to do in there that you don't have to leave, but it's really more geared towards younger kids.
So yeah, this is where we ran into kind of our rub. And again, it's right outside the kids club.
Oh yeah, that was
we
great.
Could, pick our daughter up and go straight outside, and here's your area. But our son is 10, so he wants to do a little bit more adventurous stuff. Doing the basketball court, doing the rock climbing, the big slides, the big water slides, and those are like 10 floors up. You have to take the elevator to get.
Literally 10 floors different.
You cannot get up there like easily.
No.
So there has to be a thing where we're choosing, like, okay, we're going to be down here with our youngest, who's 6, or hanging out with our oldest, who's 10
Right.
up on the slide deck.
Right. And we're very fortunate we were traveling with friends, and our son has
Friends to
a
hang out
friend
with.
that he can go hang out with, and so we could basically say like, hey, can you watch him while we go hang out with our daughter, let her do something for herself for a bit.
Or our daughter in the kids club, and we could go.
And then that's what we did later, is we put her in the kids club, and then we went to go hang out with our son. But otherwise we would have to like divide and conquer, and so that was a little bit tricky, but at the same time not every family is going to have that issue. And you can also work, it's not an issue, it's you can easily work around it, where you do like what we did, like, hey, we're gonna go
Spend some time here,
and then we're gonna go spend time there. So it's, yes, I think it was slightly easier on Utopia because the kids splash area was meant for like I felt like there were a wider range of kids there, and then it was also right by the slides, so if our son wanted to go do the slides, we could keep an eye on both of them.
Exactly.
But we had really great seats in the shade. Like most of the seating in Surfside is shaded because it is 10 floors under the pools and the water slides. So it's covered.
I feel like though that this ship has way more shading, like everywhere, even on the top deck. Like it's just, it feels so much more
and seating,
shaded.
Like there was just more seating and more shade everywhere. So I preferred the layout this way, but it is just something that we have to like.
The adults area,
no shading.
It was no shading, but also it was odd because it is below the deck with all the slides. Yeah. So people can stand up there, like I guess kids, if you know, per se, they could stand up there and like look down on the adults area because it's like a pool and so it's like it felt more weird. Like it kind of like it's like a spectator sport. People could just like look down at everybody in the adult area.
Yeah. I guess so, but it was also nice. It's called,
whereas like the Utopia, it's like fully in a different area.
Yeah, but this adults only pool was really cool because it has that infinity edge, and it's on the back. But
even in the kids area, they had that infinity edge.
Yeah, which was neat. It's nice that they like both had the option, but I liked the adults only section here for the pool at least because you had that really cool. You could be in the pool and like look out the back of the ship and just see ocean. We never did it because we're a little opposed to people soup, but it looked nice.
You like the idea of it.
I like the idea. I like being able to have the option if I want to. So we talked about Surfside. We talked about Thrill Island a little bit, but let's talk about that one a little bit more because they boast these huge theme parks. It's the biggest water parks. It's the largest water park at sea, they say. Two of them are raft ones, like you can fit up to 4 people in a raft and you go down.
Up to 4, or just depending on weight.
It's depending on weight. So, it's up to 4 people, or it was like almost 600 pounds. Yeah. But we did those twice. We did them with our friends, and then we took our son to go back and do them again. Yeah. And you go fast. You go real fast on those.
Yeah, I mean, you go. It's fun. Again, I think that part of it is like it's fun because you're on a ship, and you wouldn't think that you could have like this pretty fun like raft ride.
Yeah.
And it's a fun raft ride.
I like them more. I like it because it's included in your cruise fare.
Yeah.
It's not like when you go to Coco Cay or if you're, at the theme parks and you have to pay like extra admission for a water park. Like I said, we don't like people soup. So we never go to dedicated water parks. We don't pay to go to the water park at Coco Cay just because like that's not something we want. We're not going to spend all day there. But to just have the option to go spend an hour or two riding these rides. Yeah, I love it. I'm into it. And compared to like the Aqua Mouse or the Aqua Duck on the Disney ships, this was way more thrilling.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I definitely had a better time doing these slides than the other one.
They also have the racing ones where you have like a mat and you hold it and you race each other down.
I never did good. Like I did decent, but I wanted to go faster.
You and I raced each other, and I had a hard time starting, and so I was like trying to like kick myself off to start, so I ended up losing on that one. But I think you had like, what was yours, like 14 seconds or something? I think you were like 15 seconds and I was 19 seconds because I couldn't get started, but it was like a nice slow. I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I saw the end and I was able to like plug my nose. I went again and I raced our son, and the guy that was like loading us on there was much better about here's how you get on, so you just take off. And I took off so fast. I finished it in 12 seconds. I couldn't see anything. Water was splashing my face the whole time. And I was trying to brace myself to hold my nose, but then I wasn't bracing. I like ended up hitting my head at the end. Didn't plug my nose. So then I had water. I was just like, it was a mess. It was a big mess. But I finished in 12 seconds and I beat our son.
Nice.
So that was a small prize, a consolation prize. All right. Let's talk about navigating the ship though, because I feel like this was something that was also a big difference on Utopia and even on the Disney ships. Their elevator banks are pretty crowded. There's like 6 elevators here, but like a tiny hallway on each side. So on Icon and on Star of the Seas, their elevator bank is like a sphere, like a circle, and the elevators just line it. And there's like 11 or 12 elevators on each side. But it just felt easier to get around. It never felt like really, really crowded, maybe because it was so open.
I think it's not necessarily because the elevators were more open. I think it's more because you can go from different floor, like from the Royal Promenade area, you could get up to Central Park. Like you could walk, the different floors, and like not having to go all the way to the elevator banks to go up and down the stairs.
Yeah.
And I think that's why.
They had more public staircases.
The dining side is still the kind of the worst one because that's like dining and Windjammer side. And during like meal times, it takes forever. So it's always better to go like to the front of the ship to get up and down if you're trying to go like multiple levels.
Yeah.
But I think just that Royal Promenade area, it being so open and so many staircases, it just makes it easier moving around.
Yeah, because you could walk from one end to the other on the Royal Promenade, which I think was deck 5. You could go deck 6. You could go all the way to either end, and then you could take the stairs from 6 up to Central Park, like you said, and you can walk across from there, all the way across, which was.
And those are like the majority of the main floors that you're on until you're getting up to the top where it's like the pools. So
right.
And then again you just take the elevator. But.
Yeah. No, it felt much easier to navigate. And I feel like even though I spent 7 days on Icon, you'd think I would know the difference between the front and the back of the ship. I'm always lost, like always lost on these ships. And I'm like, wait, where are we? I felt like I was able to get the hang of it a little bit better because there was just more ways to get your bearings and to cross the ship. Because like on Utopia, if you were on deck 7 and you wanted to get from one side to the other side, or let's say deck 8, you couldn't. Like you said, you'd have to go like
down
or like walk all the like the cabin hallway, which I always just feel like that's weird. It's like I want to see cool things.
Yeah.
So that was nice. But our cabin was on deck 4, which I think we actually had a really good position in the ship. I love, and I don't think I will ever book it any other way again, and I recommend it to everybody that I book a cruise for, be as close as possible to the elevators and the stairs.
It's pretty nice just because like if you forget something, you could just like, let me run back.
Yeah. If you're too far away from the stairs or the elevator, you're just like, oh, I got to go back and get my whatever. And you're like, forget it. I don't even want it anymore. It's very convenient. And for us, we were on deck 4. We were right by the Royal Theater. So like we went and watched a show one night and there was like 5 minutes till showtime. I was like, I have to pee. I was like, I'm just going to go to the room real quick. And I made it back. It was great. But we were on deck 4. And so I want to talk about our room type, or cabin type, if you will. We went with our friends and we actually did connecting cabins on this ship. And we did Ocean View, which was our very first time booking an Ocean View room. It wasn't our first time doing connecting. The last time when we were on Utopia of the Seas, we did connecting rooms for just our family of 4, and we did interior, which I actually really loved because it gave us so much more space.
Yes.
Having 2 rooms for 4 people felt like a luxury.
Yeah. The kids still talk about it because they're like, oh, are we going to get 2 rooms? Because they had their space to like watch TV and kind of just like sprawl out, and
they could have their toys out and the ducks that they find and their balloons that they get and all these, like they had their space versus like when we're sharing a room for the 4 of us, it was very tight.
Yeah.
And especially because there's 4 people in a stateroom, the cabins are really small, but It's really ideally for if you're sleeping like 2 or 3 people in there, because once you get that fourth person, especially on Royal, they don't really do the pull down beds. They do a trundle, or they expand the sofa bed out.
Yeah, see, I like the where's the bunk beds, because
Yeah.
you still have space to walk through the room. This one felt so like full, like we
Yeah.
couldn't like walk around in there,
Right.
and couldn't use like the desk or
Anything.
those drawers or
yeah,
anything.
you couldn't sit down and like I couldn't sit there and do my makeup if I
Yeah.
needed to. Which I think is also why we don't really care about getting a veranda or a balcony room anymore, because we do sleep 4 people in our room and we just never go out on the balcony. We're always rather like, let's go people watch
Yeah.
or go do so. You can't people watch on a balcony. So I haven't missed. It's been a while now since we've had a balcony, and I don't miss it at all. I don't know that I
Yeah.
would go back to it personally. It's just not for us. But doing a connecting room on the Icon class ship, that was something I really wanted to do because they do it differently. So on any other hotel room or cruise ship, if you're doing a connecting room, you have your door that you enter, and then basically just past that is where the connecting door is, right? It's somewhere along like that
That middle
the
wall.
connecting wall of the ship. On this time, the rooms are inset a little bit. All the rooms are inset a little bit. But for connecting rooms, they have a door that closes flat against the hallway, and it creates like a little atrium. And then you can open
Is it like an atrium or like a foyer?
like a foyer, like a foyerito, because it was very tiny. But then you open your main doors to the cabin, and you could magnet them open. And so you had your full room still, but then you just had this tiny little like, it was very small, but this extra space that we could have put like luggage if we needed to. We
Shoes
should
and
have,
stuff.
and shoes, yeah. But we could have utilized that space a little bit more. So that was nice to have that. But then too, if we were like, all right, well, we're like getting dressed or getting ready or whatever, we could just close our door.
Yeah.
And that was nice.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
So that was neat. I really liked, to recap that, I really liked doing an ocean view because it was nice to have a window. The way the rooms connected were really cool, and it did give you like a little bit of extra space. And then just being close to the elevators is always just really nice. I loved that. But let's move on to the food and the dining options, because there was so much more, I feel like, dining options
There
here.
was more dining options, but I think kind of like the big trunk of it, the dining area, is the same.
The main
Like,
dining room, yeah.
The main dining, and like this is the I think is the least impressive. Like I like the dining. Like it's fine. Windjammers is fine. But compared to now, like a Disney cruise, I feel like at least with the Disney cruise, they try to do like different, dining, like dinners with the different themes and stuff like
Right.
that. And then they theme the food around that. Doing Virgin, like it's like a complete different restaurant. So it's different food. I'm more underwhelmed. Like again, it's good, but it's just more underwhelming because it's the same things, like
It's
French onion soup, steak, spaghetti. Like there's not a bunch of stuff as far as the dining and Windjammers. Now they do have all the special like izumis and chops and stuff like that, which we've done izumis on Utopia, which was nice. It's like a teppanyaki or hibachi restaurant, which is good food, but you have to pay extra for that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. The main dining is very repetitive. I have had that exact same menu so many times now. Like they don't change it ship to ship or like ship class to ship class. Whereas like you said, Disney, it's themed different for every restaurant, and even the same classes of ship, like say the Wish and the Treasure, because they have different restaurants, they have different menus. You can get a steak, you can get a chicken, you can get whatever on each of them, but at least it feels slightly different.
Yeah.
With this one, it was the same thing. And it's like, well, I know I don't like that. Well,
the one thing
I know
we
I don't
did
like
different
that.
on this one was we did the brunch
in the main dining.
So it was like, that was kind of nice because Windjammers in the morning can be
slammed.
So going and having like a nice, like slow breakfast was really nice.
That was really good. Because they had brunch. They had it all the way until like noon, because I'm not an early riser on a cruise. I'm on vacation. Leave me alone. You rise early. You go do your workouts. You usually hit up Windjammer, and then we wake up and we go out and find food. But for this one, you went and you did your workout. You came back, and by that point, we were all up and ready to go. We're like, well, let's just go have breakfast. That was nice. So yeah, that was good. But I like the other options. So they have AquaDome Market where they have like a Mediterranean. They have a Thai food option. I think they had like a Mexican option. They have your El Loco Fresh outside, which
That's more in the
that's on the
loud
thrilly
area.
side. Yeah. It felt like there was more. They have a Pearl Cafe where you can go get sandwiches. You could go get different desserts throughout the day, cookies, Starbucks coffee. Like there was just it.
Sorrento's.
They have Sorrento's.
I think Sorrento's is bigger.
Sorrento's is bigger. There's a lot more seating. It just, I don't know. The food was kind of like grouped into clumps all over the ship, but it just felt like there was so much more. I didn't have to eat the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
Wade and Windjammer was like one morning just because it was like the most convenient thing to do. But for the most part,
I think that was
just went
the Coco K
Day. Yeah.
So it was like there wasn't too many things open.
Yeah. So we're like, we'll just go there. But for the rest of the time, it was just like, oh, let's go try something different each time because we could.
Yeah.
And that was really nice. Oh, the one thing that Star of the Seas doesn't have that Utopia does is they didn't have like an immersive dining experience. So Star of the Seas and Icon have a supper club, which is like a really nice experience. But I want to say it's adults only. But
It's kind of like a jazz club. It feels like. That's what it felt like.
Yeah,
we didn't eat there, but we got to like walk through it.
Like an Art Deco type of thing. And so maybe that's kind of what replaces it. But I think it's adults only. I don't think the kids can do it.
It looks like it's like pretty small, like limited
tiny.
seating too. So it's not a thing of everybody gets to go
Right.
type of thing.
But on Utopia, they had Royal Railway, which was an immersive dining experience.
Which is even more limited, I
which
think.
was very limited. But I think that's something to call out if you're looking for like really cool specialty dining. For me, I would pick the Azumi hibachi side because that was.
Yeah, I think that would be worth it.
Yeah, I think so. Okay, so let's move on and let's talk about the family specific things because we've kind of kept it general around the entire ship, but there are a few things that are different about this one, and especially with Star of the Seas because they just launched this new thing called, I don't know if they're WOW bands, but they're basically like LoJack for your kids.
Which I think is like super, like it is one of those things that it's so, it's a comfort thing.
Mm-hmm.
I know our youngest is going to be in kids club, but the fact that she has the band on and I could look on and like the app, it opens up and it looks like it reminds me of like the map on Harry Potter where it like refreshes and you could see like the movement on it.
Yeah.
But our daughter's in kids club and our son, we allow him to check himself out and so he could do like other things, but we could constantly be checking on him if there was ever a time like, you know what, where is he at?
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, he's in the room. Oh,
Yeah.
he's in, Windjammers or whatever. And it would tell you the different floors.
It's like it literally shows you the deck plans and then their little dot and it'll move. And it was so reassuring, like you said, because we've let our son have freedom to roam around the cruise ships for a little while now, but we always have to get the internet package for him so that we can text him and communicate with him. And we still did that this time. I think they're going to start charging for it, but because we were on like one of the first cruises where they offered it, we had some troubleshooting issues with it. There was some bugs, but I think it's like $15 if you wanted to do it for your kids. But it was just such peace of mind, and they'll even put a lock on it with your kids' muster station, so they don't have to wear like the bracelet. So it was, I think it was just really well done. I think the fact that this is the first cruise ship that's doing that is kind of wild. I feel like they need to roll that out across all cruise lines and like immediately. Like, why don't they have that technology? Disney has Magic Band or Disney bands, they call them.
C-bands. Is it C-bands? No,
C-band I think was Virgin. I think Disney Band Plus is Disney.
Okay,
because they couldn't.
But yeah,
Magic, whatever.
I think everywhere needs to have it because it's such a peace of mind type of thing.
I think it should have it for like every member in your family, because if you're going to the gym or something, like if you want to, because you could opt in and you could opt out for it.
For an adult, you could get the bands as like a Magic Band for your room, can't you?
You can buy the WOW bands, and I think those are also $15.
But it doesn't have like the tracking featured on it.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be nice though? Like if you're not buying the internet package and you're like, where is my spouse?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, they're back at El Loco Fresh getting more protein. I think that would be nice to have, because sometimes like if you're not buying the internet package, getting all of the like messaging features to work is kind of, it's not always perfect. But I thought that was really cool. I think you alluded to it earlier, but the Surfside family neighborhood is right at the entrance of it is the kids club. And the kids club was really great. Like our daughter loved being in there. They had Switch 2, they had PlayStations, they have these like interactive gaming tables. They do lots of games and crafts and everything with them.
Our kids said that kids club was bigger than the Utopia one, so they really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, so that was really good. And then Thrill Island, like we were able to ride the rides with our oldest. Now there's height restrictions, so I think if you have a kid that's kind of like maybe 7 or 8, then maybe feels a little too old for like the splash areas, but they're still too short to do the thrill park areas. That's where it's like, I don't know.
It'll be tough, but yeah.
But
because it's what, 44 inches?
I think it was 48.
48's the shortest one.
I think so.
Yeah.
And
so
then,
that's something to like make sure you pay attention to, because our youngest, I think she was willing to do it, but she wasn't tall enough.
Yeah. So we're like, sorry, you got to go to the kids club while we go have fun. But I think it's just so fun that that's included in your cruise fare. I know I've already said that, but it's just really neat to be able to do a water park while you're on a cruise and not have to pay extra for it.
Yeah.
That's really great.
But they have other things too, because they have the flow rider thing, which is like the surfing, boogie board type thing. They have rock walls. They have the ping pong tables,
basketball courts
where they do like pickleball tournaments. They have cornhole. They have a little putt green. So it's like they have other things that if you're not wanting to be wet, you could do dry things too. So
that's a good
I think that's the thing that's kind of nice, is like you could still be in the loud area, like the quote unquote fun area, and not have to be like in swim attire.
Right. Yeah, I do like that. And then there's also the nighttime entertainment. So they had 3 major shows. If you're going over a 7-night sailing, you can absolutely hit all of them. We probably could have hit all 3 of them, but we didn't do the ice skating show.
I think so I think on this one, I really felt I missed out because we didn't have enough nights. I know, like, I want more.
What was that?
No, I'm just saying, like, I want more nights, like, because it's a vacation, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to leave type of thing. But this is the one time I'm like, oh, if we would have had, because we didn't get to do the escape. I think there's 2 escape rooms.
There's 2 escape rooms on here.
And, we love escape rooms. We couldn't get a spot for them, but it was like one of those like, okay, now I want to do that. The entertainment. They have the laser tag, which was fun. We got to do that with our son, but they also have the ice skating. We didn't get to see any of the ice skating stuff.
No. Like you can ice skate, but then there's an ice skating show.
Yeah, so it's like there's
night.
like multiple things that you could do, and we didn't have time.
We didn't have the time to do all of it. They also have the aqua show, which was wild. Like
now, okay, I really enjoyed it. I don't know if I liked it more or equally as the Utopia one, because Utopia was Aqua 82. Which is like 80s music, so I was like, it's my vibe. And their diving, I think, was higher, so it was a little bit more thrilling.
I feel like, I don't know if we want to like spoil what happened with this one.
No, again, I think it's just like, it's because it's within the dome, it's the heights are not as high.
Yeah. So
maybe it's perceived not as high.
Yeah, but the actual water stunts themselves weren't as spectacular as on Utopia, but there were other types of stunts that they did on this one that you were just like, on a cruise ship you guys are doing this? Like, I would never thought I would see this ever. But it was a great time, though. That was a really fun show. Yeah. And then they also did...
And again, it was nice because you're inside, so we were able to, like, right after dinner, still dressed up, go sit in there, like, not having to sweat. And, we were able to grab drinks over at the little coffee bar.
Yeah.
And it was just, like, more of an evening stroll, going through Central Park type of thing. So it wasn't like, all right, let me go sweat it out, like to go watch this, the diving.
Right. And then the other entertainment they had was Back to the Future, the musical, which
that was
it. I think it's very similar to what they have on Broadway, like the actual Broadway show, but they just truncated it down just a little bit more. But it was still like very high quality production.
I think that's again, like the show wise, it's one that I would go to again.
Yeah.
Because it was just like such a good time.
Yeah, that was fun.
I think our kids one of the kids saw it twice.
Yeah.
So
Because it was just so fun.
Yeah.
It's such a fun thing to do. And even if you're not into going and sitting at a show for like the Aqua show, and I think the ice skating show were like 45 minutes. Back to the Future, which I did not expect, was almost 2 hours long.
it's like the movie.
Our friend thought she saw online somewhere there was an intermission. There was not an intermission. So the whole time I was like, okay, I need to go pee during intermission. Our room's right there. There was no intermission. But the show.
So go before.
The show was great. But then there's so many other things. There's like a dueling piano bar. We didn't once sit down for the karaoke bar, which we usually do. There's all these other little bars.
That little salsa bar up on the top.
There's boleros. We didn't do bingo. We did spend time in the casino this time, which we've been trying to do like more and more. The casino was okay. That's like my one gripe, I think, about the entire cruise is the non-smoking side of the casino is tiny compared to the size of the ship.
Well, remember on Utopia, the non-smoking casino was way smaller and they expanded it.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like they're gonna push.
I don't know how though.
Push the line of the smoking, because this one is like one casino that just like shares the same area. So there's just like the non-smoking section and then smoking. So it's like you have bleed over.
Yeah, there was like just a bar in between, but it's all one room. Which here's what's nuts to me about this casino on Star of the Seas: the smoking section. This ship has been open for a week. The smoking section the smell was assaulting. Like they had to be piping in smoke smell this for like the entirety of the build.
I think that's just like you probably don't recall like a smoking section in a restaurant.
Yeah. It was just like that. It was like in a restaurant. I was like, I'm not used to this. But I will say that the smoking section, I never once encountered it on the ship, like on the pool deck.
Oh, yeah.
That was nice and secluded.
That was something that on Utopia, it was annoying because if you're going from Windjammers to just like the kids' pool deck or like the kids' pool area, you have to go at a certain side because if not, you have to walk through.
It's like in the middle of the ship.
Yeah,
it's a main walkway.
Yeah.
And this one's like tossed in a corner.
It's out of the way, up a floor. Now you do have to walk through it to get to the basketball courts, but again, but
still, it's not to go to like the pools or something like really major. Yeah, that was one thing that I wish the casino was a little bit bigger because now we like playing the casino. It's fun. Okay, so let's wrap up. Let's give our final thoughts and our conclusions on this. So, would you retire on this ship with me? And our kids?
With you, I would retire. Yes.
Oh.
No, right now, I mean, I am, I guess, looking forward to another trip. I do want to now, like, again, it's got me intrigued to like, let's do a 7-day. Then maybe I could slow down the pace of like,
we didn't get to relax.
Activities. Yeah. Like doing activities, like I could go relax a little bit more.
Yeah.
And again, I think that's just a shift because like I typically don't want to just sit and relax. So I would want to see like, okay, I've done the 3-day. How is a 7-day?
Can you do it?
Yeah,
can you relax?
Yeah, can I relax? But no, I mean, the layout it makes sense to me. It makes sense to my weird, organization brain. Of it being loud and being quiet, and if it was nice because some days we were just in the loud section, some days we were just, one day we were just in the quiet section, and it was nice.
That was really nice. One thing I didn't even call out, the fact that Back to the Future is the show on this. There's a channel on the TV in the room that just plays the 3 movies like back to back to back.
Well, and it's funny because our daughter, while in the room, is like, "Oh, can we watch?" Because we would always when you go in, you're not really there the whole period or whole movie.
You're not there long. Yeah.
So like she'll catch the end of the first one, beginning of the second one, or beginning of the third one. So she's like, now she wants to see Back to the Future and like watch all the movies and stuff. Yeah. So
that was cool. And they gave us a duck that was Marty McFly, but like a cruise duck. And they even encouraged you to hide it, which I thought was really fun. That was cool. Fun. But yeah, so for me, it's my new favorite cruise ship. I really do love Utopia of the Seas, but now doing that one compared to this one, especially with you guys, I think Star of the Seas is my absolute favorite cruise ship I've ever been on. There's so much to do. There's something for everybody. And so here's my takeaway for us.
But like now comparing Icon and Star, like is there like, oh, I'm gonna pick this one over this one?
honestly, like Icon and Star are identical. The only things that are different are maybe like the names of a couple of bars and then the shows that they put on at night. So on Icon, it's Wizard of
The
Oz.
Star has that extra whirlpool.
There's an extra whirlpool. We did go deck plan by deck plan. There's an extra whirlpool on Star. But Icon has Wizard of Oz. Star has Back to the Future. And I just think for nostalgia purposes, like Back to the Future wins for me. And being able to watch all three movies in our room was really great. But I would not be mad at going on either of them again. I would say for me, like putting on my travel agent hat, this is a cruise that if you're interested in a 7-day cruise, I could book this for any configuration of travel party. It is great for couples. It is great for groups. It is great for people with younger kids, for people with older kids, for multi-generational families. Like we had a ton of friends that were on this cruise as well. And so we were able to just meet up with them every once in a while and just be like, oh, hey, what are you doing? And hang out for a little bit and then separate and go off with just our family or the friends we were traveling with. There's something for literally everybody on this ship.
I did like that because some of the couples we went, like we knew they didn't have kids. So it was like there was points where we did meet up and we could hang out and like, you know, have conversations, but then they could go and do their thing. And it didn't feel like we were missing out. Like, oh, like they're going to some, you know, the adults only area or they were doing this or whatever. It's like we had, like there was plenty of stuff to keep us busy.
Right. But yeah, I think this is a great cruise ship for absolutely anybody. Now, the other differences between Star and Icon is Star of the Seas right now is sailing out of Port Canaveral, which is an hour from Orlando, and Icon of the Seas sails out of Miami. So it really just depends on where you want to sail out of. If you really love the theme parks and you want to do, like, say, go do a day at Epic Universe before you go on a cruise or go to Disney for a couple days, then Star of the Seas is probably the better option. But Royal Caribbean, I think, is our favorite cruise line of the three that we've cruised on so far. And this one just widened that gap even more. I love a Disney cruise. I think Disney cruises are great for families and people that really love Disney. But ships like this show that there's just, you can do so much. You can put so many things on a cruise ship and make everybody happy. Whereas with Disney, it's a lot of like relying on the characters and the IP and those types of things. And then with Virgin, obviously, that's no kids allowed. So it's like way opposite. But I absolutely fell in love with Icon of the Seas. I could not wait for you guys to experience it. And so once we had the opportunity to book like a quick preview sailing, I was like, oh my God, I've been like for a year and a half since I sailed on Icon. I have been waiting for you to experience a ship like this. And I'm just so happy that it was everything that I was hoping it would be. Hopefully you did.
Yeah,
actually
no,
like it.
I enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm excited for, I guess, the next one. So
it's not like we were looking at cruises the last night of the cruise to see when we could go again. We don't have a huge Japan trip to like budget for, so
to work around.
Maybe we can get it, but I think for the value for your money, this is just like comparing it to like a 7-night on Virgin or Disney. It's cheaper and you get a lot more for your money.
That's good.
Water park, whole water park. I loved it. Okay, but I think that's a good place to wrap this one up. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I know Star of the Seas is like really, really new still, so you probably haven't sailed on it. But based off of our conversations and maybe some of the other things you've seen out there, is this the ship that would get you cruising? If so, let us know in the comments because we are dying for a reason to go back. And if we could get a group together, let's do it.
Until next time.